Good evening, Marshall Reddick members. I am so pleased to have you on this evening. Thank you so much for taking time out to make investing important and learning a lot about Las Vegas, Nevada. Everyone has sought to fly there, to enjoy there for many different reasons, and a lot of people have invested there. And I'm sure that's why you're here tonight, to learn about all the benefits that this market may have to offer you and your portfolio. I am Tanya Lorimore. Oops, just kidding. There we go. I'm Tanya Lorimore. I'm a realtor. I'm a real estate advisor. I've been with Marshall Reddick Real Estate for a little over 5 years now, enjoying it so very much. I've helped over 350 people make investments, and I just truly love what I do. This is my opportunity to make sure that you guys are hearing me. This is going to be an interactive presentation. So if you guys could please go ahead and write, hello, I can hear you just fine. Maybe just even go ahead and write a specific question that you really came on this call to learn tonight. I'll have a moment to answer questions throughout the presentation, as well as have a specific Q&A at the very end. So please be interactive and write questions as we go instead of saving them until the end. So I'm going to go ahead and check if what we're seeing. I see Joe saying it's all good. Maria, I'm coming through clearly. Hi, Klaus. How are you? Hey, Randall. Okay, cool. I see a lot of people saying they can hear me just fine, so that deserves a check. On to the next thing. So I'm a real estate broker. Real estate has been my passion. I kind of grew up doing it. My grandparents taught my parents how to do real estate investing, as well as my parents then, of course, picked up where they left off. And while I was going to school for my finance major, of course, I was super busy and excited because, you know, I was back in 2001, 2, 3, when all the hot stuff was going on in the real estate market, super intrigued. But my family was like, you need to finish your degree. I was like, okay. So I missed that. But I've experienced a lot of downturns and been very aware of the ups and downs of markets. It's been quite a ride, and I love real estate. So done everything from property management to sales to basically anything that you would need, I have done and helped clients do. I'm also a real estate investor myself. So I will continue on and tell you a lot more about people that do not know us yet. We have a lot of people on tonight. So quickly, let me share that we are not just into sales. We help educate people. We're a licensed real estate brokerage here in California, which allows us to help you connect with our brokers in different markets to help you do a full transaction. So, you know, you go to real estate company presentations and they're like, go build a team. We have a team that we've done thousands of transactions with because we've been around since 1979. So we have everything from a 1031 exchange coordinator to taxes to every place you need, property management companies. So access to everything that you would need from beginning to end. I have an excellent person to refer to you. You're welcome to use anyone you like, but at least you know they've been vetted. We are in 16 different metropolitan markets across the U.S. and 8 different states. So take a peek, go ahead, maybe say I'm interested in XYZ area. Feel free to go ahead and type in what areas you're interested in. But we are absolutely here today to talk more about Las Vegas. But I mean, it's amazing because we're in all these areas and we have teams in all these areas. But we're here today to meet our rep, Clara. So before I introduce her, I wanted to go ahead and take a quick poll. So this is for people that aren't really sure how this stuff works. I'm going to go ahead and launch a poll. and we're all going to answer and participate to kind of learn a little bit more about why you're here. So why are you here? What made you interested in the Las Vegas market? There's a few answers. One is close proximity to where I live, which for some reason is a really big reason that people invest in areas. Number two, the growing local economy that you've been reading about. Three, low price properties that are available. I mean, anything's pretty low priced in comparison to California. And then four, we have, I've traveled there a lot. I want to get something out there, maybe even a second home, so that when I go, I can write it off as like a tax benefit, right? And then some people are on here because they just don't know why, but they are because their, you know, husband or wife dragged them to sit down for date night in front of this computer, and you guys are here to learn together, and I applaud you. I'm happy you're here. So let me go ahead. I'm going to give you guys one more second to vote here before I go ahead and launch it. Feel free. There is no wrong answer. Okay, I see a few more people trickling in. All right, you guys, I'm going to just go ahead and show the poll now, okay? So I'm going to hit share, and you guys can all see what we're writing. So can you guys see the results?
Yes.
So it shows that 16% said it's in close proximity, 16% said local economy, 36% said because of the price points. Awesome. Wow, it's just 16, 16, 16 except for the price points. So yes, that is one of the reasons that we are there. All right, great. So on to the next page. We get to welcome Clara. So I am super excited to welcome her to our presentation. Clara, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. Hello, hello. Welcome. I'm so happy that we actually got to cross paths because I needed help. One of my clients was looking for some help in buying a property, and we just connected so well, and we haven't parted since. So I'm going to let Clara take away the stage and let her go from here.
Thank you, Tanya. I appreciate it. Hello, everybody. I'm very happy and very pleased to be here today and share my information regarding Las Vegas market, which is really hot currently. So viva Las Vegas. I would like to introduce myself. I'm actually in a market for about 10 years right now, but actively being a realtor for 3 years. Before that, I have a strong marketing and sales background in the media, so I know the economy of the market really well. Throughout my career in the real estate, I have helped hundreds of people as of right now, from primary residents to second home to investors looking for rental properties and to investors in a fixer-uppers. So quite wide variety of services, and I just really enjoy what I do, and I love to help people and get the final result in 30 days or so, and everybody goes home happy. So that's kind of my motto, to just not to just have every customer going away with smile on a face and being happy with the results and come back and share the word, which is the greatest recognition. All right,
Absolutely.
We can go to the next one. All right, so what we see here is our little Las Vegas map, and a lot of people actually think that Henderson is kind of a separate city from Las Vegas. So I just would like to make that very clear that Henderson is not as separate from Las Vegas. It's actually kind of blending in as a part of it. So it's a smaller part of it, but it has own mayor, it has own recognition. So its own city itself, but it's definitely not separated from Las Vegas, and it's not far. A lot of people think it's, oh, that's far from Vegas. No, it's actually part of Las Vegas, and it's very desirable part of a town with really great economy and a lot of white collar I would say, population. So great place to be. Let's go to the next page. All right, so you probably already know what is our population, 2.2 million of people, and we have tons of tourists coming into town. I cannot even read the numbers. You all can see them yourself. And right now, Vegas is going through a tremendous boom once again. Raiders Stadium is getting built, and we're gonna get back to that. That's gonna bring a lot of joy to our town. And Vin, thanks to Mr. Vin, actually, we are going to have our own beach. I've heard many times people say, oh, Vegas would be the perfect town if you just had a beach. Well, guess what, everybody? We're all going to have a beach here, and it's going to be about 38 acres of it, so it's going to be a nice size. So I think we are going to be just a perfect city from now on when it's going to get built, and the plans are to start just very next year. And of course, no income tax. Doesn't get greater than that.
Exactly. That's why a lot of people, when I said, you know, where do you want to be there, they said when I retire, because when you retire, you have like a set amount of income. So of course, to retire there would be wonderful.
And not just to retire. It's great to be here while you're making the money as well.
Of course. A lot of money is absolutely made in Las Vegas, you guys.
So, and you'll know that Vegas is very close to Los Angeles, about 4 hours if you're driving like a maniac, or if you're driving by the speed limit, you're going to probably take 5 to 6 hours. And very close to San Diego as well, about 6 hours. And we don't have it on a map, but San Francisco is only about 9 hours drive or 3 hours flight. So very close to California, and the opportunities are endless. Let's go to the next page.
Okay.
Oops.
Not going? There we go.
Here we go, Raiders. I told you we're going to come back to it. And we are so very excited to have the greatest team, in my opinion, come into town. And it's going to bring our economy up. It's going to bring the value of the properties up. It's going to hugely impact visitors as well. So the economy is just going to grow, and it's going to have only positive impact on the real estate and economy of the whole state in Las Vegas itself. So if you are thinking to purchase a properties close to the Raiders Stadium, for your information, it's going to be right across the freeway I-15 from the major casino Mandalay Bay. So there's really nice space, and in that location, the stadium is going to start to get built, and it's going to have a great impact on the properties right around it. All right, and the next page. Very low cost of living in Las Vegas. You can get a great big properties for very low cost, and everything else is very affordable as well. And on top of it, we are a 24-hour city, so we never go sleep here. So, and as you can see right here, compared to Los Angeles, 5,450, Las Vegas about 3, so 1/3 of it, San Francisco about half of it, Seattle again 1/3 of the cost, New York a little over half, and Miami again about 1/3 of the cost of typical living in there. So it's a great place for rentals. It's a great place for purchasing of properties and looking forward to make a great return on your investment. And off to the next page. All right, here's the page what I've been waiting for. Home price increase in Las Vegas. It's on a rise, and as you can see from these studies, it's around 250, and actually what is predicted to go is up to 300, and in about the next year or two, we are looking to rise our home prices in between 12 to 14%. The information here is collected from July 2016 to July of this year, and it's predicted to only be going up. So the future looks nice and bright for us. Now let's go to the next page. Thousands of people is moving to Las Vegas. And with all the new job opportunities, what are moving in a town with building not just a new lagoon and bringing in Amazon, new warehouses and all the new Raider Stadium and everybody coming to work with them. These are all the opportunities, and of course, unavoidably, the ratio of renters is going to increase because they will have immediate needs to find a place to stay. So it looks very good. Any kind of property what you will purchase right now and look into a rent, it's a great investment since especially the rent is going up every year. Let's go to the next page. All right, and here's the map for it. So we don't just have words, we also have numbers. And this page, you can nicely see that we are around $350,000. And actually this information right here for the rent listed price per square foot, it's a little bit moderate, and you can almost be looking at a $1 per square footage. Prices are going tremendously up, and they are rising almost every day. So the numbers are going to be a little bit greater and brighter for investor looking at to purchase a property and get a nice return for investment. Let's get to the next one. All right, moving to Las Vegas ratio and a population growth. As we already mentioned, all these great events what are coming in a town. Our population is growing annually about 5.2%, and the moving ratio in Las Vegas is tremendously on a rise thanks to everything what's going on. Everybody wants to live in Vegas. Yay. All right. Economically diverse. We are very diverse city. A lot of people think that Las Vegas is only the casinos, and don't get me wrong, it is a great part of our economy, our casinos and tourism. But there is not just that, there is all the other services and opportunities in other fields serving to the locals, and as you see, there's lots of them. Zappos coming to the town. Downtown Las Vegas is getting tremendously renovated. I actually just last week went to a grand opening or grand reopening of the Golden Gate Casino in downtown Las Vegas in Fremont. And the area is all rising up and getting life back in there, getting cleared up. So all the properties there, even in high rises, are great opportunities for rent outs because these big companies are heading over there and making the place nicer and safer an environment. And a lot of the millennials who actually loves to work for Zappos and the younger generations prefer high-rise type of condos and are willing to just stay right there and pay that kind of a rent to be able to just walk to work, because that's the part of lifestyle what they are like to live. And not just that, we have a huge healthcare system here, transportation and education. So all these different fields of economy needs to be rising with the huge interest and amount of people moving into Las Vegas. So you can go over the stats kind of yourself, numbers of employees and the type of industries, and just make your opinion. Let's go to the next page.
All right, and you guys, please remember to go ahead and ask questions throughout. Go ahead and use that chat type box. Like maybe it's a private question, which we can address separately. but we do welcome your interaction and feedback. So thank you. I hope you guys don't hear me typing away back to some of the other people. If you do, just say, stop typing. I can't hear. Put it on mute or something. All right, cool.
All right. So again, what a beautiful picture, by the way, guys. This is just making Vegas looks like a paradise, doesn't it? Who would not want to live here? So over here we have a few another little stats, projected annual job growth. As I already mentioned, with all these new opportunities and big companies moving into town, there is unavoidably a huge growth into job opportunities, and that has a great impact on a real estate, either in a regular purchase or rentals, as we already went over. And our median household income is about $52,000. So those rents can be accurate to that, and also the desire and the need of a rental properties is, as we saw already, 48%. So they make it very affordable with these kind of type of incomes, what people can earn in hospitality industry. And our next page, Las Vegas and appreciation trends. We went a little bit over it in our median price. So we had the great boom in 2005, 6, and 7. And after that, we all remember the historical drop down from 2008, 9, and 10, and 11. And then finally, we started to go back again and kind of shaking off the big gap, what we experience. And from now on, we only can expect the numbers go up and median price goes up, and the whole economy and real estate situation is only on a rise. And I will let Tanya to take over right here with the property classes, how Marshall Reddick actually classifies them.
Yeah, absolutely, you guys. So you also see these heat charts down at the bottom, and you'll see it's based on a per unit basis. That's if you get a duplex, triplex, fourplex, anything multiple units. They say multiple doors, whatever you're used to hearing, versus single family homes. They're all different price points. So you can see that we pulled the median home price from National Association of Realtors. We don't make up this data and just put numbers up that go with letters. It's all based out of a book that we have created. It's very easy to read. We have a ton of websites and how we actually come up with this data. So if you see that blue link down there at the bottom, take some time, write it down. Even better, if you don't want to write it down, you could just type in that chat book and say, Tanya, I would like you to send it to me, and I'll be happy to send you that link and or walk you through it and guide you on how to get there and explain it with you, for you, in more depth, which would be like on a consultation or something. So it's super important to understand why we rate properties the way that we do, and it's all for your benefit to know what type of neighborhood you're going to be in. There are A, B, and C class homes, and that's all we sell. We don't like to get into the D class homes because that impacts you and the type of tenants that you'll be having. So you can also see our investment properties, all of them, if you go to our website /properties. And it just relates. You can see where the home prices fall and it on this chart, and it just directly relates. And those are all based on percentages, which I believe is on page 14 of our book. But I'll let you read it and ask me questions later. We're very data driven, so that's one thing that a lot of my clients appreciate. This is where you can find it. So say you go to our website and you go up to this investment tab. See up here, investment tab. When you click on that, two options will pop down. I didn't get to talk about our private money lending, but that's something that a lot of my clients do as an additional way to generate income. So with our investments, you'll see properties, and you'll also see another one, and that is on lending on notes. So go there, and when you click on properties off to the right-hand side at the top, you will see property Reddick rating ebook. So just download it and read it. It's a very simple read. As you can see, there's big pictures, it's full of colors, it's super simple and very, very helpful. And then as you can see, a sample of what the properties will look like. This is like what you would understand as like a thumbnail. So you'll be able to see the photo, the address off to the right, annual return on investment, 11.77, annual cash on cash return, cash flow, monthly cash flow. All these things mean different things, and there are different formulas which I could teach you how to do on your own. And it just gives a quick description, but that's for another time, but that's just so that you can see. We have a ton of filters that you can utilize to find the right type of property that makes sense for you specifically. So happy to help you through that as we continue getting to know one another and what it is that you want to add to your portfolio. So this is the fun part. This is what everybody's excited to learn more about. The hand-picked properties for Marshall Reddick investors that Clara spent so much time picking for you. There are hundreds of homes on the MLS, right? But like, how do you know which neighborhoods are gang infested? How do you know, what school districts are better and why? Why is she saying that the management team that she knows would be easily able to help fill that? So I'm going to let her talk about that and talk about these properties.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Tanya. All right, we starting with our Conchita Street property listed currently for $175, and we see this property itself I actually really like because it's very close to a Summerlin, which is a very desirable area, and I think in Northwest is going to be a great investment because there are great schools in this area, and the economy of that part of the city is very nice, and properties have nice grown mature greenery, and in some of the other locations in a town it's hard to find, so that's very desirable to a lot of rentals and adds to the property visual value, which people really evaluate. In this particular home, the high school for this property would be Cimarron Memorial, and that's a home of the Spartans. It's a great school with offering a lot of sport activities, and most of the schools what I actually have picked and the properties near to them offer great sport programs for children, and we are very famous for golf. And in this area, there's a lot of golf courses as well. So close to Summerlin City, that's where a lot of golfers would like to be. And there are opportunities for the children to have a great sport education as well. Now let's go over the numbers right here a little bit. So our down payment right here is, actually need to see the number a little bit better here. What I'm trying to do. Okay, it's $43,750. We have put it down repair cost. The reason why we choose $1,500 for repair costs is we just want to be modest, and you're always going to have some kind of fixing situation to do when you're renting a property, either it's the carpet or painting. So we need to put some number in there so we can get a better idea on expenses and what it's going to cost after tenants are going to move out. Closing costs 3.5%, so we get to the number of 5,900 and roughly. So your total investment capital, what you will need, is only $51,000. Now, if the rent in this location is around $1,300, or this particular property is $1,300, your mortgage payment is going to be $674 if we calculate on the numbers. Taxes on the property per month are going to be $50. Insurance, we're going to have to insure the property for about $58 and few pennies. And the property management is going to cost you around $90 a month. In this property, there's no HOAs, which is always the best way to go, to choose a property with no HOAs. because you won't be have to face in not just the charges, but also a limitation for a rental. So there is no rental restriction and this location of this property. Utilities, we don't put a numbers there. Utilities are typically on a tenant in Las Vegas, so tenant pays there by themselves all the utilities and puts them in their name, and the landscaping as well. So the total monthly expenses you are looking at are $874, rounded up, and that gives you a nice monthly income of around $425. So right here, I'm going to pass it to Tanya. She's going to explain the rest of it, and then we move on to the next property.
Yeah, absolutely, you guys. So here at Marshall Reddick, we like to be conservative. I know a lot of other companies do not put extra padding in, which really confuses a lot of my new clients. But my repeat clients and people that I referred by their friends appreciate it because we're being very transparent over a long-term hold. So here you see an estimated maintenance of 13%, and then an estimated vacancy of 13%. And then again, we customize it for every single property, the specific property manager sees. So it's not if you will ever have a vacancy and how do I calculate that. It's when I have a vacancy, this is how much money I have set aside to get these types of returns. So like when you see this projected monthly cash flow, or like whatever percentage that may be, like 5 or whatever percent that comes to, that's us already calculating future things like, you know, carpet changes, painting, garbage disposal going out. So yeah, every month in your bank account, you guys see this red square that is outlined. It says $425.55. That is what is going to go into your bank account every month. But we say, be conservative, be reasonable. In your mind, do not go out to dinner or a really nice dinner and spend $169 of that $425. Save it every month. Every month, put and tuck away $169 for when you have a vacancy. So what that means is it's 13% of the rent. So what does that mean in number of days, right? So there's a whole formula that we can go over as well. And you might think that we're being too conservative, and sometimes that's true, but I would rather you come back and say, gosh, Tanya, I'm really happy that I have more money in my bank account at the end of the day than not. So that's why I like to make friends. Same thing with, you know, maintenance, all that stuff. It's all calculated here for you to be more happy than not in the end of the day. So at the very end of the day, we say that you have $71, or I guess $70.88 to go out and enjoy. But put that away, get a separate bank account, whatever, for your real estate investments to track and like enjoy the returns of future growth, future appreciation, what real estate really is meant for. So that's a little bit more about why our returns look small, but I think it's super helpful to point out how this is actually broken down. I hope that was helpful. If not, love to dive in a little bit more on a one-on-one with you. And of course, we always have the ROI. The ROI is something that you get when you sell a property. So with that, we have, you know, expenses to sell, all that fun stuff. And then, of course, we're not including your tax benefits because everyone is set in a different tax bracket. And then, but what I get really, really excited about is the 15-year projected profit. So that's pretty neat to me. It's all based on all the trends that you'll be able to read about in the book. But that looks pretty nice to just own something and benefit going forward. So please do ask questions, and let me just check before I move on if anybody wrote anything specific that I can address before we go through other financial performance. Okay. Okay, so with this question, it's like, why is it 13%? That seems high. Okay, so that's great. I'm happy that it seems high to you, but better safe than sorry. This relates directly to class of property. So with an A-class property, our vacancy and maintenance is only 8%. A B-class property is only 10%. And with a C-class property, it is 13%. And sometimes that's not even the case, but we would rather just keep it simple and straightforward and you be happy. I hope that answers your question, because it depends on the neighborhood. So let's see here. Another question. What makes the property more attractive? The ROI on the home, the area of the property, the price of the property? That really is an individual answer for each and every person. I talk to many different people from all different walks of life, and I actually have a slide about this at the end. So let me save that for you, Peter, till the end. But what I find most attractive is the class of property, A, B, or C. And each one means something different. So we'll go over that a little bit more later. I'm glad that was super clear. Oh, Clara, yes?
Yeah, just to add to it, to this particular property, even though it's a Class C, it's actually in highly desirable area. So the estimated vacancy here probably would be way much lower because this is the part of a town that everybody wants to stay.
Awesome. See, there you go. There you go. She can actually check out the saturation rate, like how many days on market it typically takes. So that's something that she, as an experienced agent in that market, can show you how many days on market it typically takes to get something rented off the MLS. So we can do that on a one-on-one basis.
And just to actually add to that, I will very simplify that answer. We don't even have to check out any of the properties. Currently, the market in Las Vegas is very hot, either for sales or rent. And I work with all clients, and I help also to rent out the properties and screen possible tenants. And properties goes within a 1 week, no matter what price range, sometimes even less than that. Okay. So right here on the map, you can see where the property is located. It's by the 95 towards north, and it's also towards the Centennial Hills and near to the North Las Vegas Airport. And in Northwest is the location where Amazon is getting ready to open up a huge warehouse, which brings a lot of job opportunities and more actually life and quality of the living in North Las Vegas. And this is kind of in a halfway to there and still be very near to a city. You can be in downtown within 10 minutes, just getting on a freeway. So this location, thanks to that, is very desirable because it's right in between and can go either way. So this property would not really last on the market longer than 1 week to get rented out. All right, let's go to the next page, our next property. All right. Puebla Street, yay. All right, I really like this property. It's an amazing, unique 5-bedroom property. It's 5 bedrooms, as everybody knows, are in Las Vegas, very rare. We get 4 bedrooms, and those are really hard to find as well. So if you have a 5-bedroom and you list it, it's going to be gone within the first 3 days because there is a huge list of people waiting for a house of this size getting listed and be possible rented out with a humongous 17,000 square feet, and the price is absolutely unbelievable, only $200,000. So it's in a Class B, as you can see it, qualified. And this property built in 2010 has beautiful bamboo floors, which adds to the quality of the living of the tenant, more beautiful environment, and less also work with for the owner, because you don't have to change the bamboo floor just like you would have to do carpet probably after each tenant would move out if it's not properly cleaned up, and that's rare, as we all know. So that saves on the expenses after the tenant moves out, and easier maintenance as well. So I love that about this property, with a great size of a backyard. And of course, again, no HOA, so no extra expenses on having the home, and much more desirable for tenants. You see right here, listed price $200, down payment, we thinking 25%, $50,000. Initial repair cost, again, same number, $1,500. We just want to make sure that we keep in mind that there are going to be some costs for repairs, and a closing cost 3%. That gives us $57,500, and a rent will be $1,300 very easily with all the upgrades what this property offers and the size of this property. So this particular properties, I will get to it when we get to the map regarding the location. Now, looking at the rent, $1,300, mortgage payment with the interest rate, $771, taxes about $87 a month, insurance about the same thing, management fee 8%, and that's $93. HOA fees zeros, utilities again zeros, because the tenant's going to pay for them, and landscaping the same. So total monthly expense is $1,038, and the potential monthly income $261. So Tanya, I think you already went over the rest of the numbers. I don't know if you want to actually go by each property.
This is actually different. So you guys, the red box here is showing $261. It'll come into your bank account. Now, as you go down this chart, you see we're saying set aside 10% for vacancy and maintenance. And what do you see there? You see parentheses around the monthly cash flow. So in finance, whatever, accounting, it all means that that's a negative number at the end of the day, right? So this is where it becomes a little tricky for people that do not account for things and are just like, well, I'm going to live day to day, and when the expense happens, it happens, but today it's this. So depending on how you specifically analyze properties, and I'm so happy you're here with us to learn more, just know that you need to compare apples to apples. So we're saying that this would be a negative $15 every month, but technically, no, it's not, because in your bank account, you're having what's outlined in that red box. So this is a personal thing that you need to account for in your own mind going forward for all investments across your portfolio. So here is where this property is located.
Right, and this property is very close to actually our Nellis Airport in south Las Vegas. Some people actually call it north, but it's technically more so north-south. And thanks to that, a lot of the airport employees and a lot of the airport-based workers are located in this same area, and they like to stay very close to it. So you get the Army staying in there, you get all the workers working at the airport, and that's a very desirable location to stay as close as possible to work because nobody likes to travel too far. That's why you also see how much it reflects the rent, and you can actually rent a property like this for $1,300 a month, and that's a great rent amount. So let's go
Yeah,
to the next page.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
On to El Molino Circle.
El Molino Circle. Here we go. El Molino Circle is located in the same area, actually very nearby to our first property on Conchita Street. So same location, close to Summerlin. A beautiful single story. Single stories are always more desirable for tenants and rentals, avoiding for families, avoiding the staircases and making it a little bit more friendly to senior members of the family. So those always goes super fast. And you can see this property is 1,300 square feet, got 3 bedroom, 2 bathrooms. It's in a C class, but again, like the first property, it's in that desirable location. So that's actually what's making this property to be a great investment for a rental, is the location close to Summerlin. Also to highlight about Summerlin, the schools, which I already mentioned, are really high quality schools with a lot of different programs, what are very desirable for parents and for children to attend. So this property itself has already new carpet, beautiful granite countertops. So I really like that you can actually save right after you invest. You can save on repairs and pretty much put to zero to nothing into this property before you rent it out, and just get it on a market immediately after a purchase without have to count in on any extra expenses. Here's the map already. Close to Texas Station, which is one of the big casinos in Las Vegas. So in this location, again, a lot of the workers from Texas stations like to stay nearby to avoid the traffic. So a great opportunity right there. All right, off to the next one. I think we are already on a map. Okay, Browns Meadow Eve. Beautiful. And Browns Meadow Eve is a great 4 bedrooms. Again, 4 bedrooms. More bedrooms are very desirable and more unique, so they go super duper fast when you try to rent them out. 1,700 square feet of a lot, 1,600 square feet of a property, built in 2002, so you're purchasing a newer structure, which is always nice, in a Class B. So this property has a new paint, carpet, beautiful floors, appliances, and bathroom fixtures. Again, your first initial investment is going to lower right there with no extra add up to these features. Listed price 200, down payment 25%, so $50,000 initial repair cost. With this property, probably less than 1,500. Closing cost 3%, so we go to 6 grand. And there you guys see your first initial capital is needed 57,500. Rent estimate is 1,100. You probably have a little bit of wiggle room and can go a little bit more than this number, but we want to be a conservative and make sure that we are not going a little too high and having big eyes. But the potential with this property is definitely there. Mortgage payment around $771. Taxes on a property annually very low, $59 a month. Add to the insurance, $58 a month. Management fee $79, and HOA fees at this property are $92 a month. So utilities and landscaping are onto the tenant, and your monthly expense here is $1,060.
All right, so
yes.
it leaves that, but I mean, as you can see, it has, it's like pretty pretty new-ish. I mean, gosh, it sounds crazy to say 2005 is new. It doesn't seem that long ago, but and it looks like they just put in new paint, new carpet, so that helps you guys not have to do it the first time around, especially since this is currently vacant. So the repair cost probably would not be $1,500 on this one. But again, we like to use things as staples here, just in case and when. So just keep all these fun things in mind. One thing I wanted to share with you, this down payment, we say 25% all the time, but if you do not own more than 5 and 6 investment properties, you can put down 20% technically. We do 25 because it helps you buy down your rate. And if you own more than X, then you have to put down 25%, and you're only allowed 10 loans conventionally. So this is where this property is located. It's in a different location. We've talked about up to the left of this, traffic circle and up to the right. So I'm going to let Clara talk a little bit about what's offered down here.
So this is a property I really like because it's very close to Henderson. So you already heard me earlier to speak about Henderson, what a great location it is, or city, or part of Las Vegas. And this property is in that area, and it's very near to Basic Academy, which is a high school, and it's a very highly rated high school with a wonderful mathematic program and offering golf and tennis for boys and girls, and has a actually very well-known woman or girls volleyball team as well. So very desirable for families to live in this area, considering the schools and the location. All right, and we go to our La Fleur. Sounds French, La Fleur. I like it. So what I really like about this property, again, is a single story, very desirable, 1,300 square feet, perfect size for a family home, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It's a Class B, as you can see, and it's built in 2013. Absolutely amazing new property with, as you can see here, energy saving features with economical sunscreens on the windows and roof shedding. You have a great savings marked up right here, about $100 a month on a power. So that's very nice for the tenant. You are not purchasing this property for yourself, but for the tenant, it's definitely a nice feature what you can highlight to make the property more desirable. And also it reflects on the rent. As you can see, it's $1,150 a month. And on the top of it, there are new kitchen cabinets, so you will save on the first initial repair cost, again right there with all the extra features with this property.
But I mean, what I really like about this property is you'll see the HOAs are 40, so things that are lower is great. I really like that it's not crazy expensive. I don't really love it when HOAs exceed $100 and something unless they have a ton of amazing amenities that would attract a certain type of family in like an A-class neighborhood. So, I mean, you're getting a good home for $200,000. It's around $60,000 out of pocket. The rents you can see here, it's a nice neighborhood, as Clara was describing. It's just the rents are a little bit lower. So in some parts, like in the North Vegas, you saw rents at $1,300, and this is, less. Clara, could you expand on why the demand is different?
If you go to the next page, I think that will help to explain that with the location. But
sure, yeah, I can do that, and we can come back. Absolutely.
So you will see this particular property is in North Las Vegas, but not all the way to Nellis. So for the location, actually, where this property is at, it's a great rent. I choose this property specifically here because in this location, a higher quality of a rental property is very desirable, and it reflects on the schools that are in this location. And what's so wonderful about actually the high school here is Sunrise Mountain High School, and they offer a great programs for boys, in particular for tracks. They are actually champions in the tracks in this school, and across country of wrestling. So for this location, the amount of the possible rent for this property is on the topper end, and it's very nice.
Awesome. Okay. Well, good. So you guys can see that these are the financials that you would need. It's also a smaller home. So some of the other ones were 5 bedrooms, some of them were 4 bedrooms, and this one's a 3-bedroom. So that also helps out a little bit. And so you guys can see the returns. Looks like the projected profit in 15 years. By the way, if you only intend to hold the property for 10 years, on our financial calculators on the website, you can reduce that 15-year to get the projection to however many years you intend to hold. And it's quite fascinating to see how those numbers change from year to year.
Right.
All right, you guys, I hope you were keeping track of those properties 1 through 5. I'm going to go ahead and launch this second poll and kind of get a taste of what it is that you guys fancied the most. I'm sure you guys are taking notes, but go ahead and share with us which home you liked best. So I've distributed the poll. It seems like a lot of people are leaning towards one right now. One's in the winning stage. So, yeah, go ahead and take that vote. It'll really help us understand like why you like it. Perhaps it was specifically because it was by certain areas of job opportunities, or all those fun things that Clara was discussing in the different areas. And then I'll go ahead and share all your results. But go ahead and share what you think. Go ahead and click on them, and I will go ahead and close out. All right, I'm going to share. So we have a winner. It was the very first one. So for very good reasons. There were 2 homes in this area. So, she hand selected this for a specific reason because it is really good. And again, you guys, she's, searched through the MLS and has decided that, you guys can pick a lot of homes, but they may not be in the best neighborhoods based on price point. So I'm glad you guys all got to see the results.
Yes, I specifically have not really picked all just the high-end neighborhoods, because in Las Vegas currently the growth is tremendous everywhere, and rental properties are needed in each part of a town, and they will not last. And even as you could see on a property number 5, even that property can rent out close to $1,200, and that's actually really nice. All right.
Absolutely. So here we go. Here's a little bit about property management. People want to know who's going to watch their quote-unquote baby, their investment, after they say, thank you so much, Clara, for helping us purchase this property. So we've worked with Brady Property Management for quite some time. They're very standard. These are the numbers that we've based the projections off of. As you can see, he's been in Las Vegas for a very long time. 3rd generation. These are his values, very professional, and has specialized in the entire valley of Vegas. Here are the numbers. As you saw, the flat fee for the leasing fee was only $300 each time that property becomes vacant. To fill it, it's only $300 rather than 50% or whatever. And that's another reason why our clients have enjoyed working with this team for so long. It's 8% of the monthly rent. And to renew the lease, like say the tenant doesn't want to move out at the end of their 1 or 2 year lease, to resign the lease, it's $75 instead of like a general flat fee or whatever. Everyone's different. There is no staple across the board of property management, which you guys will find as you continue to invest. So these are the types of services that are offered. All these things are very important to screen tenants, criminal background checks, job, make sure that their employment is verified, that, you know, homes and condos are usually rented in less than 30 days. So just so that you know, this is what his team says, which goes in line with what Clara was saying. But yeah, we are over conservative. All of our results turn out to like over 30 days pretty much. So it's just extra cushion for you guys to be happy. So we need to get your approval. Typically, some property managers will be a little bit over a certain amount, but they'll go ahead and talk to you to coordinate. And they don't charge for any eviction fees because they're just awesome. So let's go over your guys' questions. Please start typing them now, but I do see that we had some questions that I was going to address at the end for you. So Pete, that answers your question. Sorry, Peter, where do you get the management fees from? They're very specific. So on all of the markets that we're in, we pool for the person that we would refer you to take care of your property, and they're all different. So I hope that answered that question. Hi, Caitlin. So happy you guys made it on tonight. She is saying, oh, I kind of answered that question already about like how come the A, B, and C class properties, the rents are different. And like, how are you going to know what the home will rent for? So that's something that you can check next to what Clara will provide, like basically the rent comps off the MLS, or you can go on Craigslist, or you can go on so many different things, Rentometer. But I mean, they're the professionals. Property managers have gathered this data for us with us. So that's how we come up with it. And each neighborhood is very different. And they take a turn just like in your next door neighbor, like hood. Like it can change property values like crazy. All right. So
and just to add to that, I always will run the comps and come up with the comps for you when you're interested into purchasing a property. What is the potential rent going to be there? So there is never going to be a question about that, and your answer, you will always get an answer to it.
Perfect. Yeah, and then so, oh, this is a good question for you, Clara. Wei asked, which area of Las Vegas has the most rent, like per dollar? So, you know, this is a loaded question because even if it has the highest rent amount, that is also directly related to price point, and that may not be favorable to you. So do you know a specific area that does have the highest rent per dollar?
Right. It's going to be definitely closer to downtown. Then right next to that is going to be Henderson and Summerlin.
Okay.
Right. And of course, if you're going to rent the property out into a golf course community, you're going to be looking at a rent close to $3,000 a month, but depends on the property. We have not discussed those properties here, but I just want you to guys know that they are properties what you can rent in a higher price range as well. But we can discuss that personally.
Yeah. All right, Caitlin had another good question. Do you have a chart with desirable areas and their class ranges broken up, or are they all separate? So these are all separate. It's neighborhood by neighborhood. So we don't have anything specifically. I guess what you could do is read the ebook, the Property Reddick Rating ebook, and you know, you'd have to go on, if you're not going off of examples on our website, to research what that neighborhood would rent for based on the price points of each of those homes. But again, the A, B, and C class homes are all based off that range, where you will find from page 10 to 16 on how to, fall into A, B, or C class neighborhoods. Did you want to add anything to that, Clara?
No, I think you explained it really well, actually. So
Okay.
thank you.
And then, hi, Mr. Tabar. Does a fourplex purchase qualify for a second home financing? It could, and that is something that if you currently occupy one of those units, it could, and we can connect you to a lender to specifically, dive into that a little bit more for your personal response on that. But yeah, if you live in one of them, you could. Let's see.
And just so you know, guys, right now, before you go back, currently there's not a really bad purchase in Las Vegas, no matter what location you are. Vegas market is super hot, and I just want you to be aware of, if you are thinking to purchase a property, what you're going to rent, and you see a property, what you have on your mind, be ready to be very aggressive and very fast with putting the offers up. Because the market is absolutely insane, and properties in this price range, in between $100,000 to $200,000, will not last longer than 10 days on the market, even though if it might be in absolutely fixer-upper condition.
So, so Thomas, you're asking about closing costs. Why are the closing costs high? These are all things that are just across the board. You can always get it differently throughout, but we're just going with the average closing costs of what we see. It's just something that we pull into our factors. So if you have an in somewhere where it's less, again, we're always really conservative, so that can change for you. All right, Airbnbs, are they really hot right now, Clara? What do you
think? I think every part of the market is going to be really hot right now. So to answer your questions, yes, absolutely. Absolutely 100%.
All right, great. Peter, I'll go ahead and email you the guide, the Marshall Reddick Rating Guide. All right. So it seems like people are definitely looking at our numbers on closing costs. Again, it's just us being conservative. So it's tucked in there somewhere. And one thing I forgot, you guys probably aren't noticing, is that we have that also including the home inspection report, the appraisal, and then all the lender fees. So those are additional things that are included in there. So again, you can change those numbers on our website. You get to alter the pro formas. So that's something that's really neat. You can use the financial calculator and see the returns. So whatever you do and how you do it, just make sure it's apple to apple, and you can change those numbers if you like. So please do. It seems like there are a lot of personal one-on-one things that I can go into a little bit more with you one-on-one. So I'm going to skip some of these questions, and we'll have to come back because I don't want to keep you guys too long on here. But here are the next steps. So what can you expect from a consultation with an advisor like myself? There are a few other advisors in here. So if you wanted to speak with me specifically, I would love that. Just go ahead and request it so that you don't get pushed to somebody else. But what can you expect from a call with an advisor is like figuring out why you want to invest. So basically setting your goals. Then we have, how are you going to do it? How much money do you have? Do you need to get on a savings plan? Like, are you going to be coming into some money, et cetera, et cetera? So we get the timeline, how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, deciding on a time frame, whether that's tomorrow, next week, next year, 3 years from now. Happy to help get on track with you. and what do you want? You're setting your criteria. Do you want something that's really high in positive cash flow, cash on cash return? Are you planning to sell? Are you going to do an appreciation play versus a cash flow play? Where do you want to buy? Remember, we're in 16 different metropolitan markets across the U.S. They got to identify a market that makes sense for you. I'm assuming tonight it is Las Vegas. And then who are you going to work with? And that's something that I do. I introduce you to all the key players that can help you be successful through a transaction. So go ahead and share. I would like a consultation. These such and such days work best for me. I have Ephraim here with me. He is one of our head assistants, and he coordinates all these calls. Ephraim, would you like to say hello so they can expect a call from you?
Hi, everyone. How's it going? I hope you enjoyed the presentation.
Yeah, so he'll reach out to you specifically and set up a call, but this is my direct phone number. If you wanted to do that /consultation, go ahead and mention what you would like to discuss, how you would like to discuss it. I'm very flexible. I work all the time, you guys, so I'm very happy to accommodate schedules, but my personal hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to like 6 o'clock. And there's only one of me and 100 of you guys. So please let me know what works best for you so that we can make sure we can get on that call and start putting steps forward to getting you closer to where you want to be. I understand it may not be tomorrow, but a lot of my clients I've worked with, like I said, I've been here for 5 years. It's so amazing to circle back and help you guys get to where you want to be and just teach you along the way. So it's not just here to do, it's also to learn and get to where you want to be. So I just want to thank everybody for coming on the call tonight and staying here, and special thanks to Clara. Thank you so much for all your hard work and like putting all this together. So
thank you, Tanya. Yes, thank you, Tanya. Thank you very much. I'm very happy that I was able to be here, and I just wanted to tell everybody that if they have any specific questions what we were not able to address in this webinar, please get in touch with Tanya, and she will direct you my way and get us connected so I can answer any questions you possibly might have and convince you to come to Las Vegas market, because it's really hot and we like to get a new investors in the town. And I will guarantee you that you will not make a wrong move currently in Vegas with purchasing any property. So please bring the questions, bring a feedback, and let us know what we can do for you. I also work pretty much 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I'm always going to be there available for you if you have any questions and you need to get in touch with me. There are always a ways to do that.
It sounds like she's been a true Vegas, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, guys. There's always something going on. Thank you so much, Michael. I'll definitely be in touch with you soon. Thank you guys all so much. I appreciate all your comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will chat with you soon. Have a great night.
Have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.